Okay, why don't we go ahead and get started? Really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us. So happy holidays to each of you guys. Today, Shai and myself have a very exciting agent that we want to talk to you guys about. It's our lead generator AI agent and be presented by myself and co-hosted by Shai Bar, who's on the call here with you guys.
Mhm.
So let's just dive into it. Here's our agenda for today, right? So we're going to do some quick introductions. We want to talk about the problem that we've seen and experienced personally, but also heard from some of our friends and family members. Want to talk about what 2026 is going to look like with AI. Then a high-level overview of MindStudio. At least give you guys some concept of kind of what the MindStudio platform is and the agent that we built through it. Then we'll walk you guys through the architecture diagram for the lead generator. And I'll tell you right now, it looks a bit more robust and complex, but I promise you the agent is very easy. And then we'll go ahead and do the live demo. And then after that, we'll finish up with some key takeaways and Q&A. We only scheduled this for 1 hour, so we hope that helps and suits everyone. But by all means, Shai and myself are willing to hang on afterwards if anybody has any additional questions. And we'll try to, or at least Shai, remember, to
Mhm.
pause me for any questions as we go through the presentation. So let's go ahead and begin. We'll start off with our introduction with Dimitri. Dimitri Shapiro is the CEO of MindStudio. He's a career company starter, so to speak. He founded MindStudio and raised about $36 million in venture capital from various folks, ones that work from Google, Disney, Intuit, LinkedIn, YouTube, all kinds of folks that are supporting this platform. Um, MindStudio is SOC 2 and GDPR compliant, and it's also audited for enterprise grade security, also trusted by privacy conscious enterprises and government entities as well. And there's an open source Chrome extension associated to this platform that makes it really neat to be able to use with hands-on agents at any given time. Myself, my name is Sandakan Stage. Most folks call me Stage or Sando. I am 20 plus years in the tech space in a number of different roles, with management consulting being about the last 7 to 8 years of my career. And StageX is my AI management consulting practice. And I've been developing agents since June, part of MindStudio's 30-day AI bootcamp and a level 3 AI certified agent developer. And now this is part of my practice. And with the culmination of everything that I do, I think this will be one of those value adds, skill sets, so to speak, that I have now to offer to my clients. And let me turn it over to Shai.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shai from Israel. I'm MindStudio partner in Israel. I started using MindStudio in May this year and won the first place in the hackathon. I'm working at Systematics as their AI innovation leader, and I also run my own company agency that create AI agent, consulting about AI, and training about AI. I'm really excited because Stando and I build AI agent for our new businesses, and it's really exciting that you can build everything with MindStudio. Back to you, Tiger.
Thank you. All right, guys. So there's going to be a lot to review, so I'll try to pace myself as much as possible and pause for questions. But let me just tell you how this all got started. When Shai and I were developing this agent, we wanted to tackle actually our own pain points when it comes to lead generation. We collaborated with some friends, we talked to some family members, and we heard their struggles. And honestly, the stories are all pretty much similar, right? And I'm betting you guys are going to be able to relate to this. We're basically spending hours manually building prospect lists, copying and pasting in from LinkedIn, or even pushing leads to like Pipedrive, trying to research each contact individually, and then sending LinkedIn emails and cold emails, which you guys all know go into a black hole, right? It truly ends up feeling very generic because we couldn't systematically use all the research that we've done for each of the personalized outreach. So by the time we finished researching 50 projects or prospects, for example, we'd already forgotten half of the insights for the first 10 that we were working on. Because again, there was no systematic way to turn all that intelligence that we worked on into actual personalized outreach. So between our own struggles and what we have heard and read also online, it turns out we're not alone, right? According to HubSpot's 2025 data, about 61% of marketers say that lead generation is their biggest challenge. Not just a challenge, but their number one challenge. And here's what's making it worse. Marketing Week's research also in September found that about 53% of marketers are being asked to deliver more with fewer resources. So you've got the number one challenge in marketing, and you're being asked to solve it with less budget, smaller teams, and tighter timelines. So clearly, it's not a speculation, right? At this point, we can see that it's happening right now. And that's exactly why we built what we're about to show you. So now that we've identified the problem, here's what got us really excited about this agent. We're now sitting at a massive inflection point. Right now, AI powers about 17% of marketing efforts. And by the end of 2026, that's going to jump to about 44%, more than doubling in 1 year. So you're probably wondering, does AI for lead generation actually work? Well, Wiser Notify looked at the companies already doing this, and as of September 2025, they were seeing about 50% more leads and about 47% conversion rates. And the timing actually does matter, right? Because marketing budgets are now slowly recovering, but they're going to go to AI-powered teams. And so those companies that are moving forward now with AI will be advancing in the next 12 months compared to those competitors that are just sitting there still trying to build a use case or business case to bring AI into. So the question becomes, how do you actually build something like this agent that we're about to show you without needing developers or 6 months of development time? So that's exactly why we chose MindStudio. Let me show you what makes this different. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking the same thing. We've all thought about this, right? There are a lot of ways that you can approach this. So why are we using MindStudio? The short answer is that we just didn't want to work with engineering teams, right? And also other platforms, like for example, if you're if you're using ChatGPT with Zapier, right? It's great for simple automations, but it breaks down with complex workflows. Plus, those task-based costs add up really fast at scale, right? Well, what if we used custom APIs? Yeah, that's always an option, right? But it's a pricey option, not to mention the dev time to develop those, right? You build it, you test it, you break it, retest it. Okay. What about if we're using Marketo? Well, Marketo is great for email campaigns and lead nurturing, but try building LinkedIn scraping workflows with persona analysis, and you're going to quickly hit that program's limitations. All right, well, Sandakan, how about if we use N8N? Well, N8N is the platform that actually gets compared to MindStudio. The difference is that there's a steep learning curve when it comes to using N8N, especially for like complex workflows, right? There's difficulty with debugging, there's poor performance with large data sets, and there's limitations in the JavaScript editor and node functionality. That really creates significant hurdles for you. And also, if there's nothing else, it does require significant infrastructure management for those self-hosted versions. So what we needed to do, we needed to orchestrate multiple systems, multiple data sources, and multiple automations, including Apollo pagination across 50 pages, LinkedIn content scraping, enrichment APIs. We needed persona analysis and deduplication logic, and structured outputs. All of this working together seamlessly, all governed consistently, all built by citizen business development architects such as myself and Shai, without depending on developers or hitting platform limitations. And that's exactly why what MindStudio was built for, right? It's a no-code AI development platform that turns business logic into working AI systems. It's an application builder, It's a workflow orchestration layer that blends prompts and APIs and a centralized operation platform. And it has governance built in already from day one. So who's using it right now? Well, right now, marketing teams that are automating insights and campaigns are business leaders that are driving efficiencies, operations teams that want to eliminate repetitive tasks, and most critically, people like us, the citizen developers, the people that understand the business but aren't software engineers. So why does this all matter? Because traditionally, building this kind of system that I'm about to show you would require engineering resources, months of development time, and significant infrastructure investment. In MindStudio, it collapses that timeline. It lets us convert complex multi-system workflows into automated AI agents very quickly without sacrificing consistency or governance or reliability. And that speed really matters when you're trying to solve the problems we started with earlier in this presentation, meaning limited budgets, small teams, and processes that need to scale now, not in 6 months from now. So that's the platform. Let me show you where it fits in your existing tech stack. And this slide here is pretty critical to understand, but MindStudio doesn't replace your existing system, right? It orchestrates them. So CRMs, data warehouses, collaboration tools, ERPs, analytic platforms, it sits in the middle and connects everything. So when we built this agent, we weren't locked into just one vendor. We could pull from
Yes.
Apollo.
Ça, Julien?
Sorry? Okay. Sorry. We could pull from Apollo. We can push to Google Sheets. We can enrich with LinkedIn data and then design it to flow into your CRM, all from one platform. And here's where MindStudio actually lives in your AI infrastructure. It sits right here. The no-code agent builder platform that connects your business logic to AI models. Your visual editor, your workflow orchestration, your debug and deployment, it's all built in one solution. And so what does that mean practically? It means someone like me, a business strategist, not a software engineer, can build sophisticated AI workflows without needing data engineers or DevOps teams or custom API integrations. That business context doesn't get lost in translation because there is no translation. The person who understands the problem is the person building the solution. This is that citizen developer advantage, building solutions that actually reflect how marketing teams work, how they think, and what they need to be successful. Which brings me to what we've actually built, right? A system designed by someone who's lived in the lead generation problem space and knows exactly which manual workflows need to be eliminated. So let's show you the architecture. But before we go there, let me just pause real quick and see if there are any questions. Anybody have any questions, Shai?
No, not yet. You can continue, Tiger.
Okay. So let's continue. Now, this is very important, guys. This looks like a beast. And this even makes it more simple than the actual workflow. But in looking at this, just trust that while it is very complex on the back end, on the front end, it's very simple. All you have to do is press a button and it's going to do everything for you. So keep that in mind as you look at this architecture diagram. And then let me just kind of walk you through what you're looking at. Okay. So this right here is the ICP lead generator AI agent. It's a fully automated lead generation system that actually behaves like an always-on research analyst, a data ops specialist, and a sales enablement coordinator combined into one system. And so let me walk you through kind of how it works. Okay, it starts with the ICP targeting and setup section of this architecture diagram. You input your ICP criteria, and then the agent will create a unique signature that tracks what's already been searched and prevents duplicates. Then it goes into Apollo and runs programmatic searches. But here's the key on this. It automatically paginates through every page of results. So whether it's 10 pages or 50 pages, it keeps going through Apollo until there are no more matches, and it's only extracting very net new, unique prospects. Then for every contact, it kicks off enrichment. So it's going to validate the lead. It's going to pull the company data. It's going to create structured profiles. And here's where it gets really, really powerful. For each contact, it launches a dedicated persona research workflow. So it's going to scrape their LinkedIn profile. It's going to pull recent posts. It's going to analyze their content and generate core values and pain points and the buyer intent signals, thought leadership scoring, and activity levels. So this isn't just an enrichment process. This is a persona intelligence solution. This is the kind of insight you've spent maybe 15, 20 minutes manually researching for every lead that you find. And all of this gets automatically written into Google Sheets or into HubSpot or whatever your CRM might be. And there are three levels of automation to ensure zero friction, right? There's the pagination automation. It keeps scanning until it's done. There's the deduplication automation, so no reprocessing of existing contacts. And then there's the insight automation, which generates deep persona signals without anyone touching it. And so why does this matter? Remember the challenge from the first slide, the pain points we were talking about? This agent solves that. Marketing leaders now get consistent ICP contacts, deep persona intelligence, and automated research. And teams get faster list building and immediate outbound readiness and clean contact databases. So simply put, this agent actually turns your ICP definition into a fully automated lead discovery, enrichment, and persona intelligence engine that's going to scale your pipeline without scaling headcount. And remember, this was designed by someone who lives in lead generation problem space, that is. So someone who knows that CRM ready means enriched, scored, persona analyzed, and ready for personalized outreach. And that's the architecture diagram that you guys are reviewing. So before I show you guys kind of how it works, anybody have any questions with this diagram or what we covered?
Yes, there is a question about violating the LinkedIn service, violating the LinkedIn services of automation. They don't allow automation through their platform, but we're using a built-in MindStudio LinkedIn block. We'll demonstrate that. And we're not violating it because we're only reading the information. It's like you being on this page and reading those personas information. So it's not a violation. It's a gray area on LinkedIn. But if you do something like posting or creating DMs, this is something that LinkedIn doesn't like. I created an agent like that and I got one strike. Now I have a yellow card, but we're not doing that. We're only reading the information. Please proceed.
Any other questions? Hopefully I didn't scare anybody off. But let's go ahead and dive into the platform. A few things that I want to talk about before we actually go into the agent. But for those that are new to MindStudio, when you actually get into an account, there are a couple of things that you can see that's already immediate value and gratification. And that is that when I'm in my own personal workspace, you're going to see that I have a number of AI agents that I have built that are ready to use. And I can also organize these into separate folders so that when I'm working with clients or if I'm doing demos for agent folks or whatever it might be, I have a nice clean way of accessing my agents. But also, MindStudio provides you guys ready to use agents. They have a library of a number of different agents that they have went on to build and very, very useful, very, very practical and something that you can take today and use. For example, this TLDR, if you're not familiar with that one, too long, didn't read. This agent right here can scan a blog post or a YouTube video that's over an hour long within 30 seconds and give you an executive summary. Or there's this agent here, which you guys might be excited about, which is the ICP HubSpot CRM. This is the one that kind of inspired Shai and myself. This is a great AI agent that will pull leads and push into your HubSpot CRM already. We decided to ask ourselves a few additional questions and figure out areas of opportunities to further enhance this particular agent. So I say that to basically mean that you guys can take these agents and use them today, or you can go ahead and do the same thing. Find ways to maximize the opportunity and further enhance these agents. Another thing that's neat is that you guys are going to have templates that are already available. These are all built by MindStudio Level 3 AI agent developers that are partners, ambassadors, and folks that have gone through the boot camp that MindStudio provides. Again, these templates are ready to use, and all you got to do is just action them off. So that's the high level of MindStudio. Before I dive into our AI agent, I wanted to show you that we use this in our real world practical life, right? So you can see here, this one I'm not actually pushing into Pipedrive. I use Pipedrive, but this one I'm just pushing it into Google Sheets. But I'm actually using this agent to pull leads for marketing folks in Denver, Colorado. And you can see here that we have a number of different fields that we're pulling from, everything from the date to the person's name to their LinkedIn URL, a bunch of metadata that I can use and take advantage of when I start to figure out kind of how I want to do my outreach program. And so these are everyone that I pulled from vice presidents of marketing to CMOs to director of marketing. And I actually kind of just took this another level and just built my own little dashboard here so that I can, at a quick glance, be able to figure out how many hot leads do I have? Warm leads do I have? Cool leads that I have? How many leads came in today? Like, am I slowing down? Do I need to pick up on my leads? Obviously, this dashboard can be customized in any way that I needed to, but for this kind of quick demo, I just wanted to show the value in terms of how I use it for my business, including Shai. He's doing the same thing, only I built the dashboard and he didn't. So he's going to steal that idea from me. But this is our world, right? And so we're going to do the same demo right now using this same sheet concept. But before we run this application, I wanted to walk you guys through the actual agent itself. Yep. Is there a question? Okay. Shai, can you mute them, please? Thank you. Okay. So this is the agent, the lead generator agent that Shai and myself had developed. There's some complexity to this, so we're not going to get too technical, right? At the end of the day, first, I just wanted to show the value. But at the end of the day, I want to give at least a high level overview of what is working behind the scenes in order to save you all that time when you're generating leads. There are a combination of a number of different functions that are built into this system. And functions are usually what we take advantage of when we're trying to build something more custom. We have a number of different user inputs, and the user inputs is just basically you putting in your criteria for your ICP. And then we have 3 different workflows that are working simultaneously when you run this. And so you have the main workflow where you can see here it's doing a number of things, everything from collecting the criteria to basically running through into Apollo and going into the sub workflow. And so the first sub workflow this is going to do is jump right into sub create contact. And basically what this is doing is there's a prompt in here that is basically filtering and enriching your contacts that it's finding and then extracting that information and then going into another sub workflow, which right now is LinkedIn. And this is to answer that question earlier, where it will go and scrape public available profiles, but then also search Google and in regards to LinkedIn article posts and references from individuals that we can find on Google. It's going to research that, do the persona insights, and then push it back into the main workflow where it's going to continue this workflow of processing all that data and then displaying it saying, hey, here's what we found based on your criteria. And then it's going to give you the menu and say, hey, do you want to continue your search or do you want to end it? right? And if you end the search, it's going to end the workflow. If you decide, hey, no, we want to do another search, well, then it's going to add a page. So in Palo, they have a number of different pages with lists. So if you already worked on page one, it's now going to go to page two. If you were on page two, it's now going to go to page three and pull the leads that you're looking for, again, based on the criteria that you put within the user input. And so then it just goes through that cycle over and over and over until you say, hey, I'm good to go. I'm done. I don't need anything else. And so at a very high level, that is kind of what this agent is doing. And it's going to, in this instance or this demo, it's going to push that information into this Google Sheet. But if you're using HubSpot, it will put that information into HubSpot. If you're using Salesforce or whatever CRM, Pipedrive, whatever it might be, it's going to push that information into that database.
Just pause for a second, Sando. Here, you do need to understand that you don't need to create an account or subscription to Apollo. It's already built into MindStudio. So we're leveraging MindStudio capabilities to access different platforms, and this is another efficient way to save money. Okay, so what Sando is going to demonstrate here, we don't have an account on Apollo for this research here. Okay, please continue.
Any other questions with this workflow before we go ahead and run this?
Yes, Mike is asking, is Apollo the best source, or why did you choose it? Um, Apollo is a very good and reliable source because it brings a lot of information, updated information. We're not using only Apollo because, as Sandokan told you here, we are doing another scrape on the internet for their article that they posted and a LinkedIn post. We bring a lot of more information. In the next workshop that we are going to demonstrate next week, we're going to demonstrate how we do our really wide research. We're only bringing from Apollo the basic information. It's a rich information, but we're only bringing this information to have something to begin with. Um, Sandokan will demonstrate how we put the criteria, and then we get from Apollo this list of ICPs instead of trying to figure out who is the right ICP for my business or for my goal. That was the question.
Yeah. And the exciting part for everyone, just so you guys know, as we've been putting on our posts, this is episode one of three. There are three agents that we've developed that are all associated. This first one is its job is solely to gain, pull leads based on all the criteria that you've inputted into the user input. The second workshop that we're doing next Wednesday on the 10th is now going to take these leads and qualify those leads and score those leads. And then on Wednesday, the 17th, we're going to have an agent that's going to develop custom emails that you can send to each of your qualified scored leads. And so, Shai, while we're at it, if you want to, you can throw the registration links for both the one on the 10th and one on the 17th. If you guys want to register in advance, by all means, click those links or save them or forward them to your friends. So with that said, let's go ahead and run this guy. Just so you guys know, this probably going to take about enough time to go get a cup of coffee and come back kind of a thing. So anywhere from a minute and a half to 2 minutes, but that's perfect because we're going to walk you through this agent. So as I mentioned in the architecture diagram, pretty complex, pretty robust. You guys can see within here the number of functions that are associated to this agent, the number of user inputs and the number of workflows and the number of different blocks associated to each of these things. And for those that are new to MindStudio, each of these blocks has its own purpose. Some of them are gathering information. Some of them we're putting prompts to do certain exercises. Some of them are pushing it from one workflow to the other. Some of them are fetching information from a Google Sheet. So each of these blocks have their own purpose within the build. But even though it's this complex, I'm going to go ahead and go to the publish, open the agent. And so from here, all I got to do now is just run this agent. So first thing it's going to say is, well, tell me what you want. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to start with CMOs. And location, I'm going to pick Denver. And in this instance, I'm going to continue my scan. And the reason for that is because if you recall, in my sheet, I already have three, right? If I was starting from scratch, I would use that full rescan. Or if I just wanted to do a full rescan anyways, I can do that. But right now, I'm just going to continue the scan. And then I'm just going to put in, I don't know, 1,000 plus. Now you can continue to add criteria, and the the duration of this agent is really going to be dependent on how granular you are. Like, for example, if you're looking for the entire United States and over 3,000 contacts, it might take a little bit longer. If you're looking for, I don't know, Denver, Colorado versus Colorado in general, could shorten the time. But you can also pull in specific organizations. So, for example, if I want to find contacts at Salesforce or Smartsheet or whatever that's here in Colorado, I can put in their name. Or I can use key industry keywords like SaaS, right? But for this instance, I'm just going to go ahead and run this. And as I run this, you're going to see what it's starting to do. It is starting to go through each of these blocks, and now it's doing its people search in the Apollo database. And now it's going to verify that information. And we're going to go back and forth. But what you're going to see is within the sheet, notice that we have up to row 3 populated with information. As this agent starts to do its job and starts finding these leads by the page, it's going to start populating this particular sheet with those leads. So I'll come back here for a second so you can see what it's doing. So it takes, like I said, anywhere from about a minute and a half to maybe 2 minutes. And you can see here on the left side, everything that it's doing all at once simultaneously between all 3 of those um, workflows that we've created. And so if I come back here, hopefully it's starting to bring some people in. Um, Sometimes it's a little bit slower, but you'll see it come here live shortly. But the thing is it pulls back roughly up to 10 leads per page. So that means if you want to increase the number of leads that it's bringing back, we'll have to do that in the configuration, but it's going to go per page. So right now it'll pull a set number of leads for me. And then as it pulls those leads in, then I'll be able to say, at the end of the day, hey, is this good enough for me? Or do I want to go ahead and rerun the search? And then it goes back into the Apollo database and starts pulling net new ones. And again, what it's going to do is it's going to look at my sheet and say, hey, this person exists, this person exists, this person doesn't exist. Okay, this is the new person. We're going to add that net new person into our sheet. So it's always very unique contacts. It's not duplicated contacts. And that's part of the logic that we built into the formula for this particular agent. Now you can see what I mean because it's a little bit complex here, but hopefully you guys had enough time to go get some coffee and come back. But let me go back to my sheet and see if it's starting to pull people. There you go. See, it's starting to now pull people one at a time. Now, I kind of wish I was here as it was pulling in, but it's still pulling and doing additional research. So this will fill out at some point and it will complete itself. And then, we have this little formula in here so that we can actually just refer to the LinkedIn page itself and actually pull in pictures of individuals. And so however you guys want to organize your data and however you guys want, if you guys want to build a dashboard that's associated to this sheet, I'm sure in HubSpot, I believe you can probably build a dashboard, and Salesforce, I know you can. So however you want to do any of that stuff, but now you can see in real time, we have a number of different individuals that we're bringing into this search. And again, this is so far a short list. Let me come back to here and see if it's done. Nope, not yet. But I want to show you guys what's going to happen when it validates, because it's going to go into that menu block that says, hey, here are your search results based on this run. Do you want to continue to search for more prospects and leads, or are you satisfied with your search at the moment? So we'll give this a few another 30 seconds, hopefully, and we'll be done. But while this is running, are there any questions?
Yes, Greg is asking about the cost of each run. Here we're bringing 10 ICPs, then maybe later you can demonstrate in your environment how much does it cost in MindStudio, because it's a clear ROI here.
Mhm.
If I had to
Yeah.
do it manually, I did it manually. It took me hours.
Yep. No, it's a great question, right? Because MindStudio is model agnostic, so you can choose whatever model you want to run. So whether you're running Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini, and each of those models have a different cost structure associated to them. This particular agent, it's a little bit more expensive, but we're talking pennies to the dollar, maybe close to a dollar, depends because the deep research function is, or sorry, the Apollo piece is a little bit pricey, but you're not spending hundreds of dollars. Maybe a buck per run or less than that per run. But like Shai was mentioning, the ROI that you get back on this type of run, night and day difference. Let's see if it's pulling more folks. It's almost done. You guys can see here on the left side kind of what it's doing. But the neat part about this is, like we said, within the actual platform for MindStudio, you can take a version of this that's already built. And it certainly solves some pain points. And Shai and I were just trying to ask ourselves other questions when it comes to lead generation. Things that, for example, Shai's sister was running into, who's a CMO out in Israel, right? Or Shai himself with his business, or me and myself with my business in terms of lead generation. Any of you guys that have started your own business probably understand the pain of actually generating leads, whether you're going to networking events or you're doing in-mails on LinkedIn or you're sending cold outreach emails or you're calling people. A lot of the time it's a black hole, right? I mean, sometimes it gets a bit frustrating, to be honest with you. So this particular tool certainly helps us with at least saving us some time on doing all that manual research or using other tools or multitudes of tools that are connected, might be siloed or connected to generate the same detail. Wow, the CMO,
There
that
is a
must like a
question.
lot. Go ahead.
There is a question that you encountered, Sandokan. The first block is the form. If you're being too much specific, you get few results from Apollo. So start wide, less specific, and then go and narrow this kind of searches to specify more narrow verticals. Okay? Because Apollo, if you are very specific, it will bring few ICPs. So when I started with that, I started CMOs in Israel. And then I tried CMOs Israel, company size 50 to 300. And then I tried another information like SaaS companies. Okay, so start wide and then narrow the form search criteria.
Any other questions?
Yes, Sebastian, can you show the parameters available under people search block, please?
Parameters?
Yes, Sandokan,
People
hi.
search.
Thank you. Great presentation so far. Imagine, could you specify in your search criteria that you want someone or you want people that have engaged with your LinkedIn post on a company page or someone that visited your website in the past 90 days? Does this block give you the ability, to include some of the search criteria?
Go to the search block, Sandokan, please, in our in our MindStudio.
You want me to pull it from here? Is that what you're saying?
No, no, this is the running one in the environment. The third tab. You have it open on
On
the
the
third tab.
block in the workflow, if you go back to the workflow, Sandokan, yeah, click on the
Mhm,
people search block.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so on the search prompt, wow, very complex, dude.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll
Okay.
explain it to you. I explain it to you.
Yeah. Lead
There
people.
are criteria that you can put here, many criteria, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Um, and we have to take it offline because it's too technical. But again, I played with that a lot of hours to understand what do I want to get out of this block because it's like doing
Yeah.
a search with perplexity, and
Okay.
actually they build it with an AI behind it, and you give it here the search prompt, and you can define anything. But if you're talking about interaction on LinkedIn, this is a problem because this is a violation. LinkedIn
Ah,
doesn't.
got it.
I have API to LinkedIn. I
Hmm,
was registered
I
to the
see.
program, the developer program, and they closed it because too many people using APIs to LinkedIn, and it crashes the platform. So
Yeah.
now you cannot pull information. You can pull from your company. If you have a company page, you can pull from your company page information who is posting or replying or liking your post. But from a personal perspective, they don't allow it anymore in LinkedIn. Okay.
In LinkedIn. Okay, fine. But big company. Imagine I'm a CMO on a company. I have a website with a form. Imagine, there are some buyers are looking into our website, looking into our
Mhm.
product. I don't capture their email address, the contact, but there is the cookie
Mhm.
that is captured. So is there a way to identify who has been visited our own website in the past by the identifying the cookie or maybe matching the cookie with an email? I don't know if it's
As
possible.
as a concept, if the information is available
Yeah,
for everything, Sebastian, if the information is available on
then you
Google,
can find it. Yeah,
uh, yes, then you can find it and pull it into MindStudio. So
yeah,
if I have in Google Analytics some information that is available, then I can pull it from MindStudio to this working AI agent. This is the concept. I can do everything to a place or location that the information is available and
yeah,
MindStudio can access it.
yeah. Thanks.
Or you can do something manual. If you can export from your website the analytics and then bring it here to a RAG, let's say.
As a source,
Mhm.
as a
As a
source.
source, as a
Okay.
RAG.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's Shay, is the source, is it um, a one-off export or can the source be a living document?
I'm using Google Sheet to do that. I'm updating my Google Sheet and then the AI agent reads from my Google Sheet. So
Got it.
it's
I
like a
see.
living, one
Yeah,
source of
living
truth.
document.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
You're welcome.
And for
Interesting.
whoever asked the question about pricing, you can see here I've done a number of different runs. And so while this one's still running for the CMO, I did the same concept yesterday evening, and that's kind of what the charge is, right? It's not very expensive to run it. And given how complex the workload is and the number of blocks that we have working simultaneously in the workflows, for as complex as it is, this is nothing, right? I guess at the end of the day, it just depends on how many runs you're doing per day and whatnot, but it's not that expensive at all. That answer the question on the cost? Okay. In Denver, Colorado, must be liking this CMO stuff. We just ran this literally an hour ago. Um, and so I'm hesitant to stop the workflow just yet. We can do it again. I can probably just stop it and run again for like a marketing manager. But you can see how we went from 3 leads that we had and add additional 4-ish leads to my pipeline now. And then that information will just translate into my dashboard and continue to uh, scale up. You'll notice that a lot of the reds are in here, but that's not a bad thing. It's just my formula is basically saying, hey, if it's less than this number, give it this value. If it's less than this number, give it that value. So red is not a bad indicator, but it's just saying, hey, do your job, son, to kind of get out there and find more leads, basically is what it's saying. I wish this would stop. This normally doesn't take this long. I wonder, it is snowing in Colorado. I don't know if I'm having bandwidth issues or not. Oh, there we go. It took a second. So now you guys can see here, it says, hey, we got this lead. And then when I click next, it's going to push me and say, hey, do you want more leads? And I can say yes, please, or no, thanks. And when I say no, thanks, that's the end of the run. And that's it for this one. And so if I come back to here and I come to this guy, you're going to see here what the cost was just for that run. For all that work. So at that point, I mean,
Amazing.
I could do another demo, another run, but let me pause and see what questions we have. And
Yeah,
I know
there
there
are a
are a
few.
lot of folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there are a few. There are a few questions.
Well,
Um, yeah, the guy has asked if it can be automatically. So I answered in the chat that of course it can be, but there is a block here that collects in a form the information. So I can alter this first block to have constant information, and then in the start, please mark the start block, Sandokan, the first block. Here you have, instead of run mode on demand, I can do a schedule one. So let's say you want to collect ICPs every day. Okay. I need to alter this AI agent because there is a menu here. I need to change 2 things here. I'll schedule it. Let's say you can do it, Sando, right? Every day, yeah, every morning, great. General schedule. Here you have it. If you run each morning 9 a.m., it will collect. But because there is something manual here, you have to change it to something automatically. Instead of the input block, you create another block that display content to a variable. You put all the information that you need it to run, meaning the ICP kind of what are you looking for, CMOs, for example, and company size or market vectors. And then instead of the menu block, you have to change it to another block that do some recycles. And then you can decide, I want to bring 1 page, 2 page, 5 pages, and then it will run automatically. So it's possible in MindStudio. It's very flexible. This is what's amazing in this platform, because you can now remix this AI agent and alter it. This is what we've done. We took their original AI agent that's on their ready-to-use AI agent, and we invested time and make it for our business. So for the people who ask if we are going to share the AI agent, first you can take the original from MindStudio. It's there, it's free. For our AI agent, yes, we are ready to share it, but you have to customize it, and we can help you one-on-one how to make it a real purpose for your business, because we made it for CMOs here, meaning we in the prompts there are some configurations. We won't dive into technicality here, but there's some configuration that we made the prompt more precise, because in AI in general you have to know prompt engineering and context engineering if you want to get good results. And this is what we've done. We invested a lot of time in the prompts here. It's very complex in the terms of the prompts, because you want to get good ICPs, not just ICPs. Okay. Any questions more?
I do have a question. Obviously, this is, an amazing tool that enable any marketer who doesn't want to spend hours
Mhm.
to manually copy paste contact and to build a database of potential leads. Now, the outcome of this is, I'm I'm a marketing executive as well, and I do receive a lot of inbound uh, email actually from
Mhm.
LinkedIn. People selling me automation, advertising, agency
Mhm.
services. I'm like, everything is go, okay, delete, delete, go to others. It's not contextual. Many of the inbound requests that I get are not very specific to what I'm looking for. And so
Mhm.
I'm afraid that when we're doing, this type of research, and next step when we learn, to integrate those leads into HubSpot or another marketing automation tool, that you start sending, the first email outreach to them, then you're gonna have a lot of opt out, or you're gonna have a lot of uh, or low conversion rate, because perhaps we're reaching out to those people that are not very looking for us to engage with them, unless contextually, like you said, we have seen them at a trade show. They went to our webpage. They've engaged your LinkedIn content. They
Mhm.
saw that you're looking for a new agency. I don't know. So the context in which you can reach out to these people and how close they are to the need of your business, I think that context makes a lot of sense. And I don't know how you would define those parameters in the block to make sure that the AI agent is capable to appreciate the context when they're looking for the search before doing the outreach, to minimize the I forgot the name of this, when people put you on junk. Anyways,
Spam. Spam.
spam. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Okay, Sandokan and I have the same problem. We don't want to spray and pray.
Yeah.
I do pray, but not for emails.
Yeah.
So, so again, we created 3 AI agents. We're demonstrating only the first one. There are two more workshops. The second one will be a qualifier one, because
Mm-hmm.
now you got hundreds of ICPs. You don't have time to address all those 100s. You want a 20% of the leads that they have good possibility that they will answer to you. Okay. And the third one is what you just talked about, Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
third one is creating the outreach emails or DMs. So
Yeah.
we won't send, hey, we have a great AI agency. Do you want to look on our AI agent? They delete it at once. No,
Yeah.
it will do a research on their company. I don't want to make a spoiler. Okay,
Yeah.
you'll see in
Okay.
the
Got it.
third workshop, you'll see on the third workshop that we create a series of emails
Yeah.
that is really directed to this person, and you understand what he's posting about, what he's talking
Mm-hmm.
about, what his company is doing. If there are any information on the internet, what he's looking for, what
Yeah.
kind out Apollo brings back, what kind of platform is he using. So we have a lot of value information. Then this is something great to do with AI. Instead of doing all the research and understand what this person really needs, I want to see, is he interested in AI agent? Yes or no? No, I don't
Yeah.
want to reach out for him. I don't want to
Yeah.
waste
Yeah.
his
Exactly.
time and my time. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's three AI agents. We didn't want to make it in one AI agent because it will be enormous, and it's not right to build like that in MindStudio. No, in every
Yeah.
platform, it's not right. You have to build it like cake layers, like Lego. This is the first layer here. Okay,
Yeah.
we bring the
Absolutely.
ICPs. The next layer will be to qualify them, and the third one will be to create those messages, those emails, and to touch him directly or her
Yeah.
directly on his pain.
Yeah. Are
Great
you
questions you're
familiar
asking,
with?
Sebastian, though, because that's what, Shai and I are asking each other, like what we know, and then we ask our friends that are in marketing what they know. But it's interesting when we start getting other perspectives as well, because the question is how can we take this agent and further enhance it, may even make it more simple for you. So
Yeah.
perfect question that you're
Like
asking.
like it. Are you familiar with the trade desk? You know what's first party data or lookalike audiences are? No.
Say
Okay.
that again.
Are you familiar with the term for lookalike audience?
Look-alike audience.
Yeah. Do you know?
Elaborate. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Lookalike audience is you have a list of captive. You have a database, of contact. They have engaged with
Mhm.
your brand, with your product. Um, you have some demographic data into it. And then you are able to use and leverage your own database and transfer that database into a DSP. So it's a DSP platform like the Trade Desk that is capable to serve an ad to someone that look like your audience. And so that enable the ad delivery or the ad distribution to reach out to your audience um, that is more likely to engage with your product than if you were to reach out to someone that has no ambition or no willingness, to engage with your product. And so there is a tool called the Trade Desk, which is one of the most known one in advertising when you're delivering display ads via the Trade Desk. The Trade Desk leverage your first party data to understand who's your audience and to serve those ads in throughout the inventory in a platform that is more likely to reach the same audience that you do have. And so with this here, which is great, because it's the first step, you're creating a database of hot lead that are more willing, perhaps to engage with you. Now, if if there is an opportunity to also push this contact of that you have created, once you're going to qualify them, into the trade desk, and then have the trade desk use this as a lookalike audience to serve an ad to them as well. Because imagine, Sandokan, like you're saying, oh, here's my agency, I'm doing AI automation, great. You're, I don't know, I think Ron is saying, yeah, the first step is to build rapport. Perfect. You are building rapport. Remember the 95% rule, 95% of the market, 95% of the audience are not in the market. They don't care about buying. Only 5% are interested. So you are going to reach out to as many people as possible. You are building rapport. They're not in the market yet, but they have heard from you. Then the next step. you push an ad via DSP and they are seeing you, now they start considering you, right? And then after maybe seeing two or three different ads, they're like, oh, by the way, I do need you guys, and they're gonna get back to you. So you increase the likelihood for someone to convert and purchase your product by going after multiple channels. Now it's good here because we're learning about one channel, which is email and perhaps the DM. But I was wondering, in the workflow, could you also create, and I don't know too much, I'm only a L1, right? I'm a newbie. Um, but is there a connector that allows you to push your audience that you're building into a DSP, like a trade desk, to create a lookalike audience and then serve an ad directly to the same type of people, the same profile that you're looking for? That would be amazing.
Short answer, yes.
Okay. Woo!
Why? I'll explain you why. Because each of these platforms has APIs. API
Yeah.
is a way to connect to this platform. Now, MyStudio have a functionality to create custom blocks. It's a custom function. I have many AI platforms, more than 10, and I wanted to integrate them to my MindStudio. And some of the capabilities are already there. But before they created Gamma for creating carousels, I created my own custom function that connects through API to my Gamma and then create those carousels for me, the one that
Wow.
I'm posting on LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
afterwards, I asked Sean to create this for all the community, and he created. It's a built-in block in MindStudio now. But Sandokan, can you please go to the environment, add a new block?
Real quick, I
To
just
the,
want to be mindful of everyone's schedule. I know we're at the top of the hour, but Shai and I are willing
Oh.
to hang out as long as you guys are willing to hang out. So just calling that out. What do you need me to do, Shai?
uh, right-click, add new block. Yeah, and go to connectors, please. There are connectors, yes. You see, there are many, Sebastian, there are many here already platforms that MindStudio created, Apollo, Airtable, Behave. You see, they create each and every platform that
Yeah.
people are asking from the in the community, and I'll show you in a minute where it is. Then you can ask MindStudio, I want to connect to this kind of platform. This is the API. Please create a
Oh, my
custom
God.
block for this.
Yeah.
You see,
Wow.
there are now MindStudio is trying to add many capabilities, and they are very good at that.
Mhm.
And you see, WooCommerce, go down. No, down. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, they've created this one for commerce. So there are many capabilities, not only blocks but connectors that
Wow.
you can leverage to do whatever you like. And if there
Good
Yeah.
to
isn't
know.
one here, you can create a custom function.
You
Yeah.
know, look,
Nice.
there's a Smartsheet
Amazing.
connector too from back in the day.
Yeah. Smart
Mm.
sheet. Oh, wow.
I actually didn't realize they had a Smartsheet connector. I just learned that. So
That was a
Smart sheet is
love-hate
like Skype.
relationship.
what's that?
I said that was a love-hate relationship.
Oh, yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Mm.
Shai did put the registration links again, just in case it got lost in the chat. If you guys want to participate, it's the same thing. 1 hour meeting next Wednesday on the 10th. We're going to review the agent that qualifies and scores the leads, and then the following Wednesday at the same time at 12 Mountain, we're going to review episode 3, which will be the agent that's going to create those custom emails for those prospects. So those are good to go. All
We are
right,
going to
guys.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to ask you to register to the next workshop, and please, you can send me and Sandokan on LinkedIn any feedbacks, any ideas that we might improve this AI agent. Eventually, we want to load it to the community on MindStudio. This is the way that we are going to share it, and we'll create a video how to customize it a little bit, to play with the prompts, and then you can, of course, use it for free.
All right, guys. Really appreciate you guys hanging in there with an hour. Hopefully, 1 hour wasn't too brutal for you guys.
It was great. Thank you both.
Uh, yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. And by all means, forward the registration link to any of your marketing friends too, because we'll do a quick recap of this agent before we dive into the next agent. But otherwise, thank you all for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Cheers. Bye.